Hi ladies, I wanted to jump in here and introduce myself, and Sarah had asked me to do a couple Facebook Lives for just preparing for our retreat and to get to know you guys, so I'm excited to jump in. I am Dr. Laura Ritchie. I am a certified women's health and functional nutrition coach. I'm an essential oil educator and leader with doTERRA International, and I also have a doctorate in physical therapy, and I myself am a desmoid tumor survivor. I had an abdominal wall desmoid tumor that was actually removed in 2011. And I wanted to talk a little bit about sugar. I noticed that a lot of you guys have said that sugar cravings tends to be a challenge for you along your health journey. And I had posted yesterday a link in our group from Dr. Mark Hyman talking about sugar and its correlation with cancer. So I wanted to give you guys a few quick tips and tricks for just supporting yourself in times of having sugar cravings. So tip number one is actually to stay hydrated and to make sure that you're drinking lots of water. And one good rule of thumb for hydration is that you take your body weight, divide that by 2, and that's about how many ounces of water you should be drinking per day. But it can vary depending on the person. I do believe in bioindividuality, so kind of check in with your body and see how you're feeling. But proper hydration is really, really important and key. The other tip that I have for you is you can try some herbal teas. So I really like decaf herbal tea, especially if those sugar cravings are coming on in the evening time, maybe after you had dinner. You can grab some decaf herbal tea, and sometimes you can add just a touch of full fat canned coconut milk. I really like Native Forest because it is organic and it comes in a BPA free liner. So that's kind of a nice little thing that you can look for. So that's one of the brands that I really like, Native Forest. But getting some fat can be really helpful. It really keeps you satiated, and it can also help with sugar cravings, because if you're having cravings for sugar about an hour, 2 hours after you ate a meal, you probably didn't eat enough healthy fat with that meal. So adding in a little bit of full fat canned coconut milk or even a little bit of coconut oil with your tea and drinking that can really help with your sugar cravings. Another tip is to reduce caffeine. And alcohol. Sorry guys, both of them can be really tough on the body, and caffeine, for instance, can be really acidic. It can be really inflammatory. It can cause some mineral deficiencies that may be going on. Alcohol basically turns to sugar in the body. It's just not a great food, especially when we're working on healing. That's not going to be really ideal. So letting those things go or transitioning slowly. I'm not suggesting that you just drop the coffee cold turkey, but slowly work on phasing that out. Doing more of the decaf herbal teas could be a nice thing to do. And plus, coffee is just so acidic and it actually weakens the lining of the gut. So when we're talking about leaky gut, and we'll get big into this and in detail on leaky gut and an elimination diet and nutrition at the retreat. I'm so excited. So stay tuned for all of that. But it's really, really key with our healing, because really the gut is the gateway to our health and healing. Another thing that you can do is a little bit of lemon water. So I like to do warm lemon water, and you can either use fresh lemon juice or you can use lemon essential oil. So the oil is a life hack for me. Again, you want to make sure that your oil is safe for internal use. So you can always call the company to double check. doTERRA is the company and the oils that I know, love, and trust. But just adding a little bit of lemon to your water, it's very alkalizing. It's very detoxifying. It's very supportive of your digestive tract and your digestive system. So that could be a nice thing to do. Another nice thing that really works to help support and stabilize your blood sugar levels is cinnamon. So you can sprinkle this on. You could add it to your tea. You could add it to your foods or your green smoothies or things that you're doing. And if you wanted to get a little bit more bang for your buck, you could do a drop of cinnamon essential oil. So cinnamon bark, this is doTERRA's cinnamon. And the nice thing about essential oils is they're very, very concentrated. They're 50 to 70 times more concentrated than the herb. So to give you an example, there's about in 1 drop of peppermint essential oil, it's equivalent to about 28 cups of peppermint tea. So you can put this in your tea and things, but you'd have to go pretty heavy on this, whereas 1 drop goes a long way of the cinnamon oil. So you could add a drop to your tea or your green smoothie, and that could be really supportive of blood sugar and really help when those sugar cravings come. Another tip is another essential oil, actually. It's called Slim and Sassy. It is the metabolic blend, so it can just help to support proper metabolism. Hope you guys can see that okay. Sorry, the light might be giving you a little bit of a glare, but this can be really nice too, that you could add a drop to your water and have that on hand to just support you. doTERRA actually does have some Slim and Sassy metabolic gum. So that might be another thing. If you're a gum person, you could use this when the sugar cravings hit. Again, check in, see if you're hydrated, see if you've had enough healthy fat. With gums, you always want to stay away from the artificial sweeteners. Those are really bad. Those are neurotoxins. You want to look for something that's naturally sweetened, but this actually has the Slim and Sassy metabolic blend essential oil in it, and it could be a nice thing for you to try. We also want to talk about balancing blood sugar because this is really, really critical. So we want to remove the processed foods from our diet. And ideally, when we have a meal or a snack, we want a healthy protein. So a clean protein, something that doesn't have any nitrates or gluten or dairy or any fillers or any kind of yucky stuff like that, an organic protein, and a healthy fat. So think avocado, walnuts, salmon, some wild caught fish, some coconut milk or coconut oil, any of those things, some nuts and seeds. Those are really great sources of healthy fat, and some fiber, ideally in the form of vegetables. And doing that, having that protein, fat, and fiber is really going to help to keep your blood sugar levels stable. So we're not having the big spikes and drops throughout the day. So that's where like carbohydrates, like if we're having donuts or pasta or bread or a lot of those things, it can really spike your blood sugar up and then it crashes and then you're hungry and you need something else. So the goal is really to satiate you, to stabilize your blood sugar to where you really only need about 3 meals a day. And we don't need snacks in between. That's ideal. Again, if we're dealing with an adrenal fatigue issue or something else going on, we may need to have smaller meals. Everybody's different, but ideally we just need 3 meals a day. And we'll get more into this in the retreat as well. So stay tuned for that. If you're really having more sugar cravings, if you really feel the need for that, you could use a natural sweetener like stevia. Stevia is actually an herb, and my favorite version of this is the sweet leaf stevia drops. You can get these on Amazon or the health food store, but this could be really nice too to put a couple drops into your tea. You can Google a stevia conversion chart. So you could bake with stevia, you could make and upgrade to healthier versions of the snacks and things that you love anyways. So this could be a really nice option for you too. Again, with intense sugar cravings, it could be a yeast overgrowth situation. So that might be something to kind of consider, having a yeast overgrowth in the gut. And that could be contributing to lots of sugar cravings and fatigue and things like that. So just be cognizant of that as well. You also want to make sure that you're managing your stress really well, because stress will spike your blood sugar just like eating a candy bar. So be really cognizant of that. Check in with yourself, see if you need a little bit of support in that area. And also make sure that you're getting enough sleep. This is so, so important. If you're getting poor sleep, you can actually crave more sugar. It can actually elevate your blood sugar. So there's been research studies that show that only 1 night of poor sleep can make you more insulin resistant the following day. So sleep is a big thing too. We're talking about all of these foundations of health and really getting to the root underlying cause of what's causing these sugar cravings and things. Is there a parasite going on? Is there a candida overgrowth? A dysbiosis in the gut? What is going on with that so that we can work and address that and heal that root underlying cause and heal from the inside out with that? And also ask your body, kind of tune in. If you're, craving chocolate, for example, kind of tune in and go, okay, do I really need this piece of chocolate? What do I need in this moment? And it's always really interesting to see what will come up for you. It may be, I need a nap. It may be, okay, I really need a bath, or I just need to walk around the block. But see what comes up for you and honor that along your journey. And also just know that the longer that you stay away from the sugar, the less and less that you're going to crave it. And the cravings will subside, guys. So hang in there, especially with a yeast or candida overgrowth. We're feeding it. And it's those little critters, it's that yeast that wants the sugar. That's why we're kind of getting the cravings. So we have to kind of starve it out. So it depends on the situation, but there's a couple tips that I hope will help you and be things, quick little simple things that you can implement into your daily routine to see if you notice any benefit with that or what's going on with that too. There are some good supplements as well, and ideally I like people to get their vitamins and nutrients and things from food. Supplements are supplemental, but you may consider looking into chromium. I like chromium polynicotinate, and doing about 400 micrograms twice a day, or you could do 200 micrograms 4 times a day. That's what is really recommended to help with suppressing those sugar cravings and supporting blood sugar stabilization. Magnesium is a really, really important mineral. We need it. It is responsible for over 800 enzymatic reactions in the body. Especially if you're having trouble sleeping, magnesium can be a really, really great option to help just calm down your system, help with stress, help with sleep, help with relaxation, and also help with your blood sugar stabilization. So ideally 400 to 800 milligrams per day could be a good place to start with that. And you could use Natural Calm. You can get that at the health food store or on Amazon. Or I personally, my favorite is OptiMag Neuro. It's by Zymogen, so I have an account with Zymogen. If you're interested in trying that one, you can let me know and order it. I just like the taste of it better. But starting a magnesium supplementation, because a lot of people are deficient, so that could be a great place to start too. And taking a good DHA, so DHA and EPA, a good quality fish oil or supplementation there could be great. For DHA, doing 350 to 500 milligrams per day could be a great place to start. You just want to make sure that it's a clean brand. So similar to we get what we pay for with organic food, essential oils, supplements, all of that is really true. So just checking your supplements, make sure that there's no gluten, dairy, soy, additives, things like that in there, and you're getting it from a clean source is really important. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please post them below. I cannot wait to meet you guys all in person at the retreat and be there with you. I'm going to be teaching about nutrition and an elimination diet and how to actually implement these things, how to make small changes and implement those into your lifestyle that are sustainable, that add up to amazing transformation over time. We're going to be talking about mindful eating. We're going to be talking about essential oils. We're going to be talking about lots of tips and tricks and tools to really support you along your healing journey. So I hope you guys found this helpful. Please come to the retreat. It's going to be a blast. And please come up to me. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to give you a big hug when you're there. And again, post any comments or questions that you have below. And I will see you next week for a short Facebook Live. And if you guys have any questions or any suggestions for things that you'd like me to do a Facebook Live video on, please let me know. Have a great evening. Bye.